Thank you very much, Linda, Ghee, for joining us. I am Muneeb Rasool. I'm going to be conducting the interview and hosting and asking some questions. So, Linda, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having us. I'm Linda Young from Supermicro. I'm the director of the AI Solution Product Management. Before joining Supermicro 2 years back, I was with ServiceNow, PayPal, Cisco for a long time. So very exciting to be your guest today here.
Of course. Yeah. And Ghee?
So I'm Ghee Leng. I'm the CEO of Embedded LLM. So this company was quite amazed to be working on the very low level infrastructure on the inferencing side together with very ambitious people like Supermicro in the Silicon Valley area and also all around the world in solving AI.
So, Ghee, tell us a little bit more about your business. What's your solution and what value do you bring to the customers?
Thank you, Muneeb. So what we do is actually what we call the inferencing stack. And Embedded LLM is a huge contributor on the inferencing stack called VLLM. And we work on AMD, we work on NVIDIA, we work on Intel and the rest of the chips. And what makes it very special here is that we have the models and also we have the hardware ecosystem from, let's say, Supermicro. And these two has to actually match, and we are the layer in between. So that's what we do.
Fascinating. So, Linda, how do you think Ghee's solution impacting the ecosystem and the partnerships?
Yeah, totally. I think it's very, very humble. He didn't mention one key aspect. His company actually is the biggest contributor to the VLLM community. So for whoever is in the AI industry, we know VLLM is the big name in the AI industry itself, and his company, his team is the biggest contributor to the open source community. So that's why when I look at the company, I'm like, wow, what a great partner. We're honored to have such a company as our partner, leverage our hardware, build the foundation for all the AI application that's very hot today.
Wow, very cool, very cool.
Thank you, Linda. I think what we specialize more on this frontier, like we are here in San Francisco for advancing AI. So the AMD ROCm and also the AMD stack was the one we started off working. Of course, on the multimodality side of the VLM is also our team working on it. But here today, in a very special day in San Francisco, is that this is, I think, one of the grandest advancing AI AMD has done so far. And we are proud to be here to actually look at how the partners, especially the new cost people and all the AI as a service guys, like how they actually use the inferencing stack as well.
Wow, wow, wow. And congratulations on such an achievement of building such a robust community.
Thank you.
So in this industry, what makes you stand out amongst your competitors? And what makes your customers choose you again and again?
So I think there are a lot of platform players. Of course, like if you look at what SMC is doing, they are the OEMs. They make all the hardware that they ship everything. They're able to change it. So they are very fundamental in the ecosystem. So the same has to be said about Embedded LLM. So no matter what platforms up there is doing, so people like everyone from Rafael to Baseband, they all have to use the same language, the VLM layer, to orchestrate and manage the memory layer. So we have to actually do all the hard work to support all these guys above. So for us, our fundamental customers are actually everyone in the ecosystem, from people like AWS to GCP, and of course we work very closely with AMD, NVIDIA, Intel, all these guys. And if the kernel layers, the ecosystem guys and all the platform layers, they want specific support, engineering solutions on the kernels and also how to really optimize across new architecture, like we have upcoming the Helios architecture, which is very different. And then also we have GB300 architecture, which is also very different. All these we have to work again with these models and support the platforms on top. Yeah. So in that kind of sense, we kind of like quite fundamental in that sense.
Yeah, yeah. And Linda, this partnership, how does that make the experience or solutions better for your customers?
Yeah, totally. I think one of the biggest gap in the last few years we've seen is between the hardware and application developer. So especially for the AI industry, that's relatively new. Well, you have the most advanced hardware, well, that's chip. And then there are many application developers that get used to use high-level language. They don't write native language very close to hardware, very close to the kernel optimization and the assembly language, things like that. So there is a huge gap in the industry itself. So I still remember last year during the AMD Advanced AI Day, one of the AMD team member also called out, throughout the industry, we all see this is a huge gap. Huge gap means huge opportunity, of course. There's a reason for it to be a gap because it's hard to do. So Embedded LLM, they work hard to bridge that gap between the pure hardware chipset to the upper level application developer to be the middle tier. You know, the middle tier actually has always been very hard because for one, you have to satisfy, understand what's a layer behind you, what they're doing. At the same time, you have to make it super easy for the layer above you, so easy to consume, and then you almost have to be invisible as well.
Yeah.
So I do say they bring huge value to the industry itself.
Wow. And I love your enthusiasm about Ghee's solution and what he's doing.
I'm more promoting than himself.
Yes. You have such an in-depth understanding.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Ghee, Linda is probably on the next list to hire.
Oh yes, I need a second job.
So Ghee, how do you see Supermicro and AMD solutions help you succeed and operate more efficiently?
So this is a very important pivot, I would say. If anyone started to use open source models when they download from Hugging Face, you will find that it's sort of like, I wouldn't say dumb, but it's not as good as the one you use online. Like even if you use DeepSeek compared to the one you use online, it feels very different, although they're the same model. So what actually is very different behind the scene is all the, what we call the tool calls and the reasoning API key layer, and then now we are moving also to the new agentic AI API layer. So these tools are not really open source. So most of the people, they need to do a lot of work behind the scene. And I think what is going to be really interesting is because for AMD, right, they have the CPU and they also have the GPU. So they excel in both verticals. And upcoming in the age of agents, when you want to do tasks, you need to actually pair CPU and GPU, like a VM kind of thing, but it's hot. So you have to do a task, put the software in and do it, and then you close it, right? So this is where I think Supermicro is super exciting here because we will see, because Supermicro has all the flexibility and all the ownership in all this entire manufacturing line, right? And design as well, which is very good. And they have like excellent support across the world, especially now they're expanding into also the Europe and the APAC regions very aggressively. They have all these support centers around. That would say like in the agentic era, you are not just buying GPU servers. You also need to buy CPU servers. So the whole layer is now quite different. And we love to do the first-rate support for AMD and also Supermicro ecosystem on both sides. And we'll also soon open source the agentic API layer as well for everyone to start using AI like how it should be, how it should feel, right? So it should feel like OpenAI once you launch it. Yeah, that's basically I would say the innovation part and the future for the collaboration between us and AMD and also Supermicro.
Yeah. So Linda, what are some of the solutions and products that Supermicro has or that are coming up that are going to be very exciting and sporting for partners like Ghee and Embedded?
Yeah, indeed. So if we look at agentic AI era, I do feel this is a great opportunity for Supermicro. One of the things we always proud to be doing is we offer the broadest portfolio. The reason we want to do that is we want to optimize the hardware for the workload that's going to run on the hardware. You know, in the hardware industry, people tend to overbuild because when you overbuild, you cannot go wrong. But overbuild means waste. you're not utilizing 100%. So we have the broadest portfolio that optimized for specific workload, from the CPU server that's going to do the control, the database, the tool fetch, the branching and all that, to all the GPU system that's actually going to do the model inferencing or even fine tuning and those workload. So having the full end-to-end optimized systems, and then that's going to help drive the end-to-end agentic AI workflow. That's where we see the huge opportunity for Supermicro, and that's actually what we're good at. We're an engineering company, at least more than 60% of the company employees are engineers. So we actually will excel in such kind of environment because we move fast. We have engineer foundation. We always do everything ourselves, including manufacturing. As Ghee was mentioning, we expand our manufacturing capacity. Imagine in today's competitive world of the tight supply chain, we actually have quite some advantage there as well.
So Ghee, in the future, how do you think the both parties can jointly develop more innovative solutions?
Thank you, Muneeb. Very important. I think what is going to change, I think everyone already seen sort of like the glimpse of the future, where you have these robots, right? Like everyone is talking about physical AI nowadays. But you don't have to go fully humanoids. You have, of course, your fridge, your smart homes. Imagine those like AI being present inside your smart home, knowing what to do. I think in between now and then, right? There will be so much more like edge compute in all these layers as well. How do you federate workloads between the AI from edge to data center and to some nodes in between? And I think this would be one of the major innovations that will pretty much fit what the strength of SMC and also what Embedded LLM is doing in this layer. So agentic as well across these layers, right? From before we hit full humanoid, we have physical AI on compute, and also to data centers.
Selena, what do you think?
Yeah, totally, I agree with Ghee. To me, especially technology has to serve human, right? So if we look at human life, we are actually enjoying the technologies and all the things that technology bring to us. So if we look at where AI is heading, indeed, it's going to go into our house, go into our office, besides the data center itself. Now, today, many things we're talking about are all innovation around data center, the campus, and many things that's a little bit distance away from us. They need to move closer and closer to human. That's why they need to move from data center to edge, to office, to our home. So imagine that path is going to be realized within the next few years. We're looking for close partnership with our AI startups, company like what Ghee is leading. We're super excited to see what's coming in the next few years.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.